Hi INFJs. Today we're going to discuss 7 unique traits that go way beyond the surface level that make INFJs so very powerful. INFJs were often described as mysterious, complex, and rare. And although I think quite often this is meant for a compliment for us, we don't always take it as a compliment. Instead, it reminds us of all of our shortcomings that we have perceived throughout our entire life. And sometimes we'll get stuck on seeing it as shortcomings instead of focusing on things that come naturally to us that other people don't have, that really make us stand out and set us apart from everybody else in this world. So today, that's what we're going to do. We're going to focus on those things. I'm going to share with you 7 of them. And I think it's going to be interesting. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name's Trina. I'm an INFJ and I'm also autistic. I created this channel with hopes of helping people like myself be seen, heard, understood, and less alone. Plus, I wanted somewhere I could share resources because I love to share resources. So don't forget to go check the description of this video. I do have a list of resources that I have put on there to share with you guys. I also help INFJs and autistic INFJs heal self-love through coaching, classes, and community. And I absolutely love what I do. So welcome to my channel. If you're new, I'm glad that you found it. I hope you find it helpful. If you're returning, I'm glad you came back. I'm grateful for everybody who is here, all my viewers. You guys are so amazing. Before we get going, I invite you, if you haven't yet, to subscribe to my channel and like this video. I'd really appreciate the support. Okay. And one more thing, I'm going to remind you, I still have registration open for the INFJ meet and greet. If you want to connect with other INFJs, it's a virtual event. We meet, it's very casual, it's fun, it's laid back. We get to just mingle together virtually for an hour to an hour and a half in one evening. And yeah, if you want to meet other INFJs, I know for me it's tough to meet INFJs, physically meet them. I'm in a small town and there's not a lot of us around. So I created this because I love hanging out with people who understand me. It is so uplifting and I just enjoy it so much and we have a great time. Anyway, if you want more information on this, I put the link in the description of this video. It's called INFJ Meet and Greet. Okay, let's get into this. I love talking about INFJ strengths. I don't do it a whole lot. I don't know why. I think because I get so focused on being able to help people with their struggles, people that have reached out with me talking about struggles, and I'm like, I can help you with that. So I do videos mostly on that, but I do think it's very important that we focus on things that we are really good at, because that's what will get us through those tough times when we're struggling and it feels like everybody's working against us. If we can focus on the things that we're really good at, that's going to give us the strength to push through and be like, hey, you know what? Yep, this struggles and this sucks, but hey, I'm good at this. So here we go. So let's talk about this. Number 1, dualistic thinking. Now, we hold space for conflicting ideas, embracing complexity, instead of forcing everything to be black and white all the time. I don't know about you, but me as an INFJ, I despise black and white. It is like my pet peeve. When I come across people that have to put everything into a box or everything is black and white, I'm like way out in the gray area all the time, right? This helps us understand and empathize with people from vastly different backgrounds. We can just understand them. We see things that other people don't. So that makes us very cool. I'm going to say that, very cool, even though that's kind of a corny statement, but I like it. I use it all the time. Number 2, this one's really cool. Pattern recognition, but in emotions. Not only do we recognize patterns in events, we're really great at recognizing patterns in events. We also notice emotional patterns in others and in ourselves. There's a catch with this one when I say in ourselves. My shirt is driving me nuts today. Those high sensitive things, right? The shirt is just driving me nuts. It's usually my favorite shirt. Anyway, the catch is we will notice emotional patterns in ourselves. We may not admit it because oftentimes it's emotions we don't want to feel. So we'll like push it away, push it back, whatever, and not feel it. But we are really great at noticing it in other people. And this will help us to spot triggers really easily with them. I know, like with my son, my youngest son, my oldest too, but not so much anymore, but my youngest, who's still with me all the time, I know what's going to trigger him right away because I've seen the patterns. And working in the school with the kids, I've been able to lean into this. We can also easily identify the root of a struggle with other people. Now, this strength we can use for ourselves. Again, oftentimes we won't use it for ourselves. We give this power to other people. So keep that in mind, that we can use this on ourselves when we want to, but it might require us to feel those deep feelings that we just don't want to feel, or that we were never allowed to feel, but we need to feel it. So just keep that in mind. Number 3, quiet leadership. Now, I don't know about you, as an INFJ, for me, I never thought of myself as a leader, although I really massively struggled with low self-esteem, and I had like zero self-worth at all. I mean, I couldn't even look in the mirror when I first started working on myself years ago. So there was no way that I would have considered myself a leader in a leadership position. However, we INFJs tend to lead by example, which we're powerfully inspiring. Let's redo this. We lead by example, powerfully inspiring others without needing to be loud or forceful. I can't stand leaders who are like up in your face and they're very loud and just forcing their people to do things instead of listening and getting really good at identifying in your group who's good at what and leveraging that power instead of working against what people are good at. I've seen leaders do that. Instead of getting to know the people that they're leading and leveraging what they're good at, they'll just like work against the grain and wonder why nothing's working. We do not do that. We naturally work with it, and we're not loud and obnoxious or anything like that. This is why people will often turn to us for guidance. And this will happen in a formal situation and in informal situations. So for me, I know it has happened to me when I've worked corporate. Actually, this strength has got me into a little bit of hot water because I didn't want to, but I wasn't in a supervisory role. And in fact, if you want me to be honest, I don't like supervisory roles at all. I don't, because I don't like confrontation, and I can admit that. Anyway, when I was working corporate, in one particular job that comes out in my mind, some of the other girls in the office would come to me before they would go to the supervisor, because the supervisor was not approachable at all, very poor leadership skills. And I really suspect she had narcissistic tendencies. Although I'm not a doctor, I can't diagnose that, but she was a nasty individual. Anyway, they would come to me for guidance and whatever, and this got me in hot water with my supervisor because that wasn't good, right? But that's what it was. It was that strength of just quiet leadership that people were just naturally attracted to us like a magnet. Number 4, symbolic thinking. We do that. This is so cool. I love listening to INFJs talk. I didn't realize this because I had never met an INFJ until I got into the online space. And all my INFJ friends we've become friends over virtual meetings because that's how I met them. So when I finally got into a group of INFJs, I realized how symbolic we really are. I didn't realize it in myself. We interpret life through metaphors, symbols, deeper meanings. And it is so cool listening to us talk. I love it. But this makes us great storytellers and really great visionaries. This is powerful to explain complicated concepts in relatable ways. And if you're a writer, which many INFJs are, but if you're not and you're an INFJ, don't panic. It's okay. Just because you're an INFJ doesn't mean you have to be a writer, but you are creative. I'm just going to let you know that. I called BS on that when I was told I was creative because I was led to believe my entire life I had no creativity. INFJs are some of the most creative people on this earth. Pardon me. Just so you know. Anyway, this powerful, unique trait of ours, symbolic thinking, really makes it easy for us to explain things to other people. Write stories, blogs, that sort of thing. I could keep going on that one. Number 5. We're on number 5. Yes. Number 5. We are great relational strategists. strategist. I don't know how you say that. I say it sometimes strategist, sometimes strategist. So we naturally map out how relations function and can easily identify where we are going to thrive and where we are going to struggle. Have you had that feeling? I had to think back on this one to see like, okay, when was this coming up in life? And I totally did. I knew, even right back in school, I knew which group of kids that I was going to be able to hang out with and be okay with, and which ones I wasn't going to be. And in adult life too, I can pick out right away when I'm in a group of people if I'm going to be able to be in this crowd or if it's going to be very unwelcoming for me. I can pick up on it right away just by we can easily see the dynamics, the social dynamics in a group. Then this allows us to foster harmony. But being able to see those social dynamics allows us to be able to identify if we're going to thrive or if we're not going to. Now, be very careful on this because sometimes old patterns of thought will come up. So, like for me, I really struggle like in my son's school with the parent groups because most mothers aren't real welcoming for somebody like me. A lot of them aren't. There are some that are. So I really struggle with that. But a lot of that struggle I could be bringing on myself because of old patterns of thought, because I have constantly had struggles with people similar to this. So I'm not putting blame definitely on the people out there. It's just sometimes old patterns of thought will come up. So just be careful with this when we understand the social dynamics and we don't think we're going to thrive. Just step back and give yourself a moment and say, is this an old pattern of thought or am I really seeing this? Because we can get caught up on that, but we are really good at seeing the social dynamics. And that's super cool. Number 6, future emotional visionary. This sounds really cool, doesn't it? Future emotional visionary when I wrote this up. So we can easily project how emotions might evolve over time in a specific situation. This allows us to help others make decisions by envisioning how those choices might feel in the long term. I had to read what I wrote there because I couldn't remember that one. That one's pretty cool too. I use this lots with my children. I know my oldest son was just having, he switched jobs. He loved his job, but he just needed a change. And it caused him lots of anxiety because he's kind of like me that way, overthinks everything. And I really leaned into this because of the new job that he got. And he was really scared that he's not going to like it and do well. And yeah, I just really leaned into this one. And we went through what it's going to be like in the long term. And I'm like, yeah, I think you're going to do well. You're going to thrive at this. I really do. And here's why. And I could explain it using my metaphors and my storytelling. And he totally understood it. Number 7, depth. I'm having a hard time talking today. Number 7, depth seeking authenticity. That was hard to say. Depth seeking authenticity. I should have read this out loud while I was writing this, right? We have a relentless desire for authenticity in ourselves and other people. Do inauthentic people drive you nuts? Oh, fake people are like my pet peeve. I can't help it. They just anger me. I have to walk away from them. So we definitely have that desire for it. But this makes us stand out in a world full of surface level connections. Because we are not the only ones who crave this. Lots of people crave true people. Lots of people can't stand fake people. I don't understand why there's so many. This makes shallow environments challenging for us. Very challenging, but it also helps us build deep, meaningful relationships, which is huge because not a lot of people can do that. And we're really great at doing it if we lean into it and allow ourselves to be. I hope this was helpful for you. Again, I think it's so important that we lean in and recognize what it is that we're good at, what makes us stand out, what makes people notice us, because people do. They notice us. And sometimes it's really hard when we're constantly feeling that we are being judged and pushed away. Generally, when that's happening, we're going to find ourselves in a group that it's just not for us. Those are not our people, and it's time to shift and pivot and, start taking your life in a different direction so that you can focus on the things that we are good at and lean into it. We were given these strengths for a reason. We are meant to lean into them and use them because this is what the world needs from us, and we can deliver that to them. Again, I hope this was helpful. Don't forget to like this video. Feel free to share it. The more times it's shared, the more people we get to help, and that's what it's all about. And also subscribe to my channel. Again, if you're interested in the INFJ meet and greet, get to know some other INFJs, check out the link in the description of this video. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.